Previously on Bleach. Uryu, you're going to betray us. Ha! Where the fuck, Hashwald, where'd that come from? I'm not gonna betray you guys. Where would you even get that idea? Oh, I don't know, maybe because I have the literal ability to see into the future, it can very obviously see you betraying us. Yes, but perhaps I was smart enough to know that you could see into the future, so therefore my betrayal is really just part of a multifaceted plan to betray Ichigo in the end. Fair point, but why would you even hide it to begin with if your ultimate goal was to betray us? Oh, okay, well I guess that all just depends on how far you can see into the future. Huh. Bitch, I could see infinitely into the future. Huh, alright then, just answer me one single question then. Shoot. When is Half-Life 3 confirmed? Oh my god. I see nothing but blackness in the void. This is impossible. How could the almighty power be crushed by something so insignificant? I'm just fucking with you. 2047. Ha! Oh, wow. Well, that's, nice to know, I guess, but, fuck. Hey everybody, Tekking101 here, here to review Bleach chapter number 660, titled The Visible Answer. Oh, check it out. There it is, the answer. That's totally visible to me. That's pretty cool. Oh, now it's over there. Huh. Pretty sure there's something wrong with the fabric of reality, but whatever, we can figure that out later. So, the chapter continues on with the Varvelt, or the castle on top of the Varvelt. Is the entire, like, new Soul Palace supposed to be called the Varvelt? Because that's just very confusing when you have the entire area called the Varvelt, but then you have Yuha's own castle, which used to be called the Silburn, which is now called the Varvelt. I'm just saying if the whole thing is the castle, it just gets kind of confusing when we're talking about locations, so I guess I'll just still call this the Silburn. Hashwolf blasts the hole through it, sending Uryu outside, where he runs into Ichigo. Along with this, Chad and Orihime also arrive on the scene, witnessing their former friend. Hey, are you alright, Ichigo? Oh no, Uryu, Chad, Ichigo, Orihime, Ichigo, Uryu, Chad, Orihime, Ganju. Get the fuck out of here! So as I predicted last chapter, pretty much right on the money there, Hashwolf arrives out of the hole and he states, oh, well, isn't this just perfect? Now you guys have a simple test. Uryu, just kill Ichigo and all of his friends, and we'll admit that you are not a traitor. Ichigo notices that Hashwolf's eyes have also changed over to Yuha's almighty eyes, although there should be no way in hell Ichigo should be able to notice the change in Hashwolf's pupils from, like, 30 or 40 yards away. I don't care what bullshit powers Ichigo has. You know, Hollow, Quincy, Shinigami, you could say at the end of this freaking series that he is like the new Soul King, and I would believe that before I believe he has like 300 microscopic vision from across the freaking area. But anyway, so, you know, that was kind of expecting what was going on there, you know, not Hashwolf fighting Uryu directly, but Hashwolf using the almighty powers, seeing that Ichigo was, like, right outside, and just blasts Uryu through the hole. So, with that being said, we have Hashwolf doing the creepy smile, which, I mean, props on Hashwolf. He's getting a little bit more emotive when he has the almighty eyes. I mean, it was even said, like, before, you know, it was even known that Yuha's power was the almighty, and Hashwolf and Yuha's powers switch during the night. Hashwolf's personality changes very radically. In the daytime, he's very stoic, very calculating, and it seems at night he takes on a little bit of the, maybe a little bit more psychotic feel here going on, because he's rocking the smile, and he's like, I can already see how exactly you're gonna respond, Ishida Uryu. Don't know why I gave him sort of a southern accent, but why not? Oh, okay, guess we're doing this. Oh, okay, Uryu, you want a battle? You got one. Here comes my new technique, Getsuga! What happened to your Getsuga? It took too long announcing the attack name. Just forget about it. Anyway, what's going on with you, Ishida? Why the hell are you listening to that guy? Oh, I'm sorry, Ichigo, I don't have the answers for you, but you know who does? Who? Sele Schneider. Schneider, I love potato chips. Was that joke topical to anybody? Like, here in the United States, we have a brand of potato chip called Snyder's, and they're pretty good. I don't know if they're in any other part of the world. Actually, they're Snyder's of Berlin, which would be really hilarious if they were not in Germany, so whatever. Anyway, yeah, so Uryu fires a Sally Schneider at the ground, which causes Ichigo, Chad, and Orihime to all fall down into what looks like some sort of undercity. Now, remember, the Silburn was, like, risen up on, like, a giant, like, monolith of, like, other castles beneath them, you know? So the whole thing is, like, one giant mountain structure with just, like, the Silburn being the peak. So when they're getting blasted into this undercity, they're just, like, inside of this mountain, and Chad grabs onto Ichigo's sword. Oh man, it's pretty convenient that your new sword has this big gap in here, otherwise you'd be fucked! And then Orihime activates her Santen Keshun, which cushions their impact, which is like, I think like the third time she's used her ultimate defensive ability for just like cushioning someone's fall. Or it's funny, something that started out as like, okay Orihime, here is your shield. You've been using it for a glider and like a buffer, you know, from when you land. I guess that it's also very multifaceted. Anyway, they land in this undercity, and then Uryu appears there too. I guess he used Hirankyaku to get down. Ichigo confronts him, and he's just like, okay, for like the 5th time, tell me, Ishida, what the hell is going on here? Why are you siding with the Quincy's? I mean, I know you're a Quincy and everything, but beside that, why are you siding with them? So they have this little conversation back and forth where, you know, Ishida's just like, oh, well, you know, if I told you, what would you do? Oh, well, I just beat the crap out of you. All right, well, if I don't tell you, or if you don't understand where I'm coming from, what would you do? Oh, I just beat the crap out of you again. So, you know, that's basically Ichigo's logic here. It is like, you are friend, you come back, you don't come back, I beat you up. So, yeah, whatever. You know what, I'm just throwing this out there. Just, what if Uryu had, like, a really good reason for joining the Vandenreich? I mean, like, at the end of this chapter, we're gonna get, like, mixed signals on this, and I have my own way of looking at it, but what if Uryu comes up with, like, a very logical, cogent reason, like, he's not being manipulated, he's not being brainwashed, you know, this is a complete decision that he made, and he just decided to cut all ties with Ichigo. Like, the reason he joined Yuha in the group is a reason that transcends his friendship with them. I wonder what Ichigo's response would be. I wonder if it would be like, oh, I'm still gonna beat you up. Or if it would be like, oh, okay, well, if that's your choice, then I guess I'm just gonna have to fight you as an enemy. I mean, I don't know, because it's coming up like Ichigo sounding like a petulant child. It's just like, you're our friend, you're coming back with us. You're like, you don't even know the reason. You know, it could be a really good reason, although knowing Kubo, probably not. But anyway, Uryu tosses them over a keychain-looking thing. This is referred to as the Sun Key. They've been handed out to every Sternritter. If you hold them above the Sun Gates, they will act as teleportation networks around Uryu. I don't know how to tell you this, but that's a Tamagotchi. Oh crap, did I forget to feed it? Oh no, oh okay. Oh wow, it's okay, Yoshino-kun, it's okay, you're still alive. Alright, so the Sun Key is basically like this little keychain magnifying glass looking little deal. And we finally find out what the Sun Gate really is. This has been referenced like twice in this entire arc, and maybe in Kubo's mind it was like a really relevant thing, but never really appeared that way. It was first referenced when the Sternritter were about to invade the Soul Society the first time, back in like chapter 493 or something like that, where they announced, you know, all Sternritters please gather at the Gate of the Sun. And then later on, very recently, it was referenced whenever Basby, Latato, and Giselle were going to attack Yuha, like, as their rebellion. They arrived at one of the Gates of the Sun, and Latato mentioned, like, oh, the Gate of the Sun still lives on, so that's how we were able to get here. So this is basically how they work. They're essentially like warp pads, you know, in like a video game or something. You take the little magnifying glass dealy, and then you hover it over one of the Gates of the Sun, which are located in strategic places all throughout Varvelt, and it's like a transportation network. You can get sent to different locales. And Uryu gives one to Ichigo and states that if you follow these steps down, you'll eventually come to a Sun Gate that's linked up to the real world, and that the Sternritter were going to use to facilitate invading there, and you can use that to go back to the world of the living and stay there. By that logic, the Vandenreich was going to invade the world of the living anyway. I don't know if, like, he meant, like, this was something we set up a while back in case we needed to invade the soul, in case we needed to invade the world of the living, but now that Yuha's become God and has his own palace, there's really no reason to, so you can just go back home and everything will be chill. I don't know. But then he says that the only reason he's staying here is because I'm gonna just take down Varvelt myself. Okay, so now we get the confirmation that he's not a bad guy. No, Uryu's our buddy. We knew him all along. Well, maybe not. We'll find out. Anyway, he states that the whole reason he was doing that thing with the chips last chapter is that the chips were created from the Sunray Shuto. And if he uses them, then they'll link up, and without a doubt, the accumulated reishi will destroy this place. Now, Hashwell said that the chips kind of like work like anti-reishi devices, like they scatter the reishi. So maybe if he like places them all over Varvelt and activates them at the same time, the reishi will all get dispersed, and then Varvelt will crumble. And Ichigo's response to this is simply like, oh, well, you don't have to go through all that nonsense. We just have to kill Yuha and everything will be cool. And Ryu's like, nope, not going to happen. You can't kill him. It's just not possible. There's no way to defeat him. This is the only thing we can do. And even then, it doesn't seem like a great idea. I'm like, okay, you destroyed Yuha's palace. I bet that's not going to piss him the fuck off when he wakes up from his power nap. Really, I mean, like the Varvelt is just a location, right? It doesn't really have any significance. Yuha's the one that absorbed the Soul King. That's the guy you have to take out. I mean, it seems like even if you destroy the Varvelt, you know, Yuha can just kind of like snap his fingers and make another one. That's what he did when the first time he made it, right? Yeah, but anyway, he goes into a little bit more detail about it. He said they were created using the Sonare glove, which was given to him by Soken, his master. And I don't know exactly what this is going on. I don't know, because the Sonare glove is gone. He used it. It's gone. He used it in his fight as Mayuri. It dispersed into Reishi, and then it became the Let's Steal armor, you know? So this is making me think, like, did Soken tell Ryu about the fucking Yuha and Vandenreich, like, years ago, and he's like, you're gonna have to use this to make these chips? If Soken knew the mythology behind Yuha, then he could basically tell Ryu, okay, in this many years, Yuha's gonna come back, and when he does, he's gonna do this and this and this, and you need to do this to stop him. So maybe when he gave him the Sonare glove, when he was training with it, he created these chips, and then just put him aside for when that would happen, and then he took the glove and went to the Soul Society to rescue Rukia, and then he just had the chips there when this day arrived. I guess that's what I'm going to go with here. Only my Ryatsu can activate them. Once again, I don't really see the point in destroying the Varvelt. You know, I don't think it's going to kill Yuha. It's more or less just probably going to piss him the fuck off. Anyway, though, after Ryu explains his plan, he states to get the hell out of here before Hashwolf notices something is amiss. And of course, we get the last scene of the chapter here, which all of us could have expected. We have the voice in the darkness, you know, creepily appearing behind Uryu. You still don't get it, do you? Before he notices. And when exactly was that? I told you, didn't I? I can see the future, you asshole! So we have this really awesome scene where Hashwolf's appearing out of the shadows and half his face is obscured and it's really creepy and it's like, shit's gonna go down. Okay, so at first when I read this, and I think a lot of us, our first reaction was like, oh my god, Uryu, are you this fucking stupid? Because the way Uryu is reacting at first glance is just like, hey, let's go somewhere where Hashwolf can't see or hear us, and then I'll explain my betrayal to you, and then he won't know what's going on. Okay, listen. Kubo does some stupid shit sometimes. He makes mistakes, okay? But I don't think, after I sat down, I'm like, I do not think that Kubo would be that stupid to completely fuck over Uryu's character. Like, he's the smart one. He's the one always coming up with plans ahead of time and backup plans. You know, he's not just gonna vastly overlook this one aspect of, no, not just one aspect, a major aspect of Hashwolf's power to see into the future. So, what I'm thinking here is going on, from my perspective, is the chip thing, the destroying Varvelt, that's all bullshit. He came up with that as just an excuse to tell Ichigo. That's all bullshit. And it's bullshit for reasons I already explained. Destroying the Varvelt, what the hell's that going to do, you know? So, I think he has, like, another plan, like, maybe another plan behind that one that he was hiding, and maybe he knows something about the almighty power that Hashwolf doesn't. Like, maybe there is a certain set amount of distance they can see in the future. Because there is a way to get past it. Because Yuha did not see the events of the Mimi Hage occurring. You know, he kept on going on about how I see into the future and all that crap. But he could not see the Mimi Hage. So there's clearly a gap. You know, there's ways you can get around it. Now, maybe that's just one way you can do it. But maybe there are other ways as well. And maybe since Uryu took in the script of the A, that's not necessarily meaning he's going to be the Almighty as well, but maybe he's cued into something that Hashwolf doesn't know. He knows a weakness of the power to get around it. But yeah, that's that. Also, another theory that I have now involving the Sun Key, because like I said, it feels like Kubo's really trying to push us on the Sun Gates. Like, there's something really relevant, okay? So, of course, Ichigo and the gang are not just gonna, like, you know, take Uryu's advice and then go back to the world of the living and then it's like, you know, okay, we're just gonna hide now. You know, they're not gonna do that. But you know what we have now? We have a connection from the Varvelt to the living world. And you know who's in the living world, right? Isshin and Ryukken. Now, for Isshin, you know, I've been starting to think these guys were not even going to appear in the arc. I mean, I find it very hard-pressed to say that when you have Ryukken as a Quincy. But Isshin, you know, he did a supporting role. He explained the backstory with Masaki. So, you know, I'm thinking like, please, Kubo, don't have him limited just to a supporting role. Please have him go Bankai and kick ass, you know. But, you know, now we have the connection. Now, it might not be a two-way, you know, a transference from the teleportation. They might not be able to just jump over to the world of the living and then grab Isshin and Ryukken and go back. But it's possible. You have a connection now, and Ryukken appeared in the last chapter. So, Kubo, I'm just asking that you connect the dots, okay? It's not hard. Dot number 1, dot number 2. Straight line. Just connect them, please. It's like, okay, we're good, we're getting there. Oh my god, Kubo, I love you so much. Ow, you, man. Oh, yeah, well, that's how Kubo usually does it, though, right? I mean, something that should be a straight line, like a given, like Ryukken, a Quincy appearing in the final arc about Quincy's, he goes, like, zigzag all over the place. On the other hand, something that you think needs to be complicated and have a bunch of different levels, like Uryu's betrayal, gets the most straight line possible, at least at the moment. Hell, if Ichigo and the group even use the Sun Gate, they're probably not even going to pop out in Karakura Town. They'll probably, not even in Japan, they'll probably show up at, I don't know, some fancy prep academy in Florida or something. By the way, that's a shout-out. How you guys doing? That's pretty cool, right? I know, your advisor told me to do this, so I hope you guys are having fun. Prep school, huh? That sounds fancy. I never got to go to a prep school. Do you guys get to wear fancy sweaters with, like, embroideries on it? That's the only thing I know about prep schools. I mean, I didn't get to wear sweaters. I mean, I could have wore sweaters in school, but I probably would have gotten beaten up. I got beaten up anyway, so, you know, that's just how it goes. But hey, look at me now, wearing a suit and tie on the internet. You know, my life turned out okay. Alright, well, thanks for being fans. I'm going to get back to the review because all my regular fans are probably wondering what the hell I'm doing right now. I'm giving a shout-out. Yeah. Anyway, thanks for watching. Moving on, that's the review. Next chapter, probably some shit happening. I don't know. We're probably, actually, you know what? We might just cut back to seeing what's going on with Gerald's or Askin's fight, because it seems like we're doing all these things at once now, and I'll get them out of the way, and then moving on to the final battle, I guess I should say. But anyway, thanks you guys for watching. Tekking101 signing out.